Hello and welcome to the 1984, or Surviving 1980. We already fucked that up. Surviving 1984 Director's Cut Cast Assessment. I'm here with myself, obviously, Michael, Caleb, Miss Anastasia,
Hi.
and Billy.
Hello.
All right, so this season we made invite only, and we separated between mine and Michael's tribes of who we basically somewhat recruited for this season. So I guess since my tribe was introduced first, should we just start with my tribe?
Yeah, we can just go in the reveal order.
Okay, so the first person that was revealed was Connor. Who wants to start us out?
I would actually really like to start us out with Connor, if that's okay. Connor and I have played a couple of Survivor and Big Brother, and we actually played in the original season of 1984, which was fun, where I sort of took him out. Connor is a really good guy. He is a very social guy and a very likable guy. If you get to talk to him, or sorry, my internet's a little unstable, so I'm going to cut out a couple of times. But if you talk to him long enough, you're hooked. But I feel as though Connor is that sort of person who will either go really early after being brought up to being a social media, or he'll go very, very far. He's a very good player, and if you let him get dig enough, he's going to make a very big impact in this game.
I don't know Connor personally. I don't even think I've seen him play ever. He seems like a really nice guy, though. I can kind of see him being a social threat. I don't know why, but I pick up on the vibe that he's really good strategically, too. I don't know if that's true or not, but I definitely can see him going decently far because I do think he's kind of like got a really good social and strategic game, and I think that's like the most important package. So as long as he doesn't like lose a lot of immunities or go to a lot of tribals, I could definitely see him going really, really far.
So Connor and I have some history. We had some drama, but we've worked through that. I played Ascendance with him, and that kind of helped our friendship. And so with Connor, he is a very smart player. I think sometimes if the cards fall in the wrong way for him, he could get screwed over early. Or I think like in 1984, Connor got so focused on taking somebody out that it kind of like destroyed all of the relationships that he had in the game. And so I think if he gets too caught up in the moves that he's trying to make, he could go out. But it's been a long time since 1984. Like, he's grown a lot. He's played on the totem pole. Like, he's done all these like amazing experiences and everything. Like, he's learned a lot. And so I think like in Ascendance, he was very socially aware. He knew where everybody was at. While he didn't end up winning because the numbers just didn't fall his way, he knew what was happening. So I could see Connor making a good run in this. I think with the tribe he has, I think he could be taken out early depending on where those couple wild cards end up falling numbers-wise. But yeah, I feel like Connor's either going to get screwed over really early because the numbers just aren't going to be in his favor, or he will make a really big, strong run. I think it really just depends on the early stages of the game.
See, so every time I've seen Connor play, besides 1984 season 1, because he was kind of crazy in getting Alex out season 1 after he got mad at him, 99% of the time in like a survivor-based game, even if Connor's on the wrong side of the vote, yes, he'll be upset for a second, but he reminds me of Michelle Fitzgerald in a way that he can actually like set that aside and actually try to keep those bridges built instead of destroying them. He's a very good social player, and he is very socially aware in the game. He knows a lot of the time where people are. I think his strategic game is kind of hit or miss depending on what cast and what game he's in, but I feel like that's kind of with everybody. So I have high hopes for Connor, but kind of like Michael said, it depends if he can find himself wiggling into this tribe, I guess you could say. So I could see.
Sorry, boy.
No, you're fine.
You're done. Okay. I've never played a game with Connor, but I've only heard good things. He's extremely social. He knows how to maneuver out of rough situations. I see him going potentially far. I'm calling his boot like mid-merge. I'm assuming merge starts at 13.
About.
Okay. Like 9th. I think I see him getting single digits. After that, I don't see him making any either. But I think Connor has a very good grasp on the game. He's played games like this before. He has that sort of edge, and he knows people in the past, so he knows how to talk to people. So I think he's going to do extremely well.
Before we move on, I will say, like, so I did like my boot prediction or whatever. In my prediction, I predicted that Connor was probably not going to find the numbers, and so I put him getting like 18th. I really hope that he proves me wrong, though. So.
I bitch would. I wish a bitch would give me 18. Ooh. Ooh.
All right.
18.
Let's not talk about that ever again.
And he got 1984 Productions. How?
He won.
All right.
That's a secret I'll never tell.
Can you say that you won, Chris? Actually, I'm pretty sure Chris is the only player here that hasn't won in the 1984 Productions.
Oh wow, a mini. You thought. Anyway.
All right. So after Connor, we had Ike. Who wants to start with Ike?
I'll start with Ike. I feel like he's a wild card in this game. I think that he could be the person that ends up being dragged to the end. I think he said it himself, he's new to Skype games, so I feel like somebody might just pick him up and say, like, just do what I say, and he will. Or I think, I don't know, I feel like Ike could also surprise us. Like we've had a couple surprises in 1984. Like we had Luke, who we'll talk about later, was a big surprise in 1984. But also Ike said he's been here for like 10 years. And so he's not a stranger to this type of game. So I think that Ike is, if he is able to last long enough, I think he will be a villain for sure. But I don't know. I'm hoping that he lasts long enough. In my prediction, I said that he's not going to, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Michael. Again, it is his first Skype game. I don't know if that means his first org, or he just is used to, like, I don't know what that means really, because he never said it was his first org. He just said it was his first Skype game. But I feel like that's gonna hurt him a lot. I mean, he could have a really good case of like beginner's luck. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that his first org, last season's winner?
Yep.
So like it does happen, and I think like it's a really kind of a nice thing for it to be your first org, because you don't have as many like bad blood, have as much bad blood or anything like that. But I just don't see Ike being like the Josh type. I don't know. I just don't see him working that angle as well as Josh kind of did. And I don't expect Ike to do very well just because it is his first Skype game, and I'm not sure how well he's going to take to it. I hope he does prove me wrong, though, because I really do like his personality from what I've got to see so far. But I'm not expecting him to go too far, sadly.
So I've played a few Messenger games with Ike. I've known him for a couple years. He is, I don't know if you all know Tina Bina, but if you go ask Tina Bina about Ike, her response to you, I guarantee probably word for word will be, he's a shady motherfucker. He is a real, like, he doesn't look like he would be like a strategic mastermind, because he looks like just like the typical stoner bro or whatever you want to say. But like, he is really good strategically. And that's why everybody thinks he's so shady in like the Facebook community, because he is very shady. Like, he can pull off many blind sides, he can pull off many moves, and I know he's got what it takes. I just don't know if he's going to find himself wiggling in with this cast. And this is his first time playing this actual Skype org as well. So I guess we'll have to see if he does well on the platform, if he likes it. So I think Ike could be very hit or miss. But Ike is a really fun-ass time. I spent New Year's Eve with him this past year, and we got fucked up. But he is so much fun. I love him.
Yeah, you're good, Billy.
Well, I just watched this thing. First off, he needs a haircut.
Oh, I should probably
Second
do
off-
that. Okay.
Second off, I would have say if I played with him, I would have fallen for the stoner type bro. I would have fallen for the bro type personality. I probably would have liked talking to him. So I'm scared when Blake says that he is also a very big mastermind. And one thing I can say with that is, even though he has experience, he's entering Skype for the first time. So it is sort of a reset button for him, where he can sort of go to his roots of, you know, if he is this sort of manipulator, make these big moves without really feeling the repercussions. So it's going. I'm interested to see how he does, because I really love seeing newcomers to this community play out this game. You know, Josh won last time. Obviously, he's a different kind of player, like Caleb said. But I think that those type of players definitely have a big impact when they are big enough characters and big enough strategists. So I'm excited to see how he goes for sure.
And
I don't know, Mike. So that's good. Good, but I hope you do well. I'm so fake. I hate myself. Okay.
You heard it here first.
Shut the fuck up, Caleb. Anyways, say Matt, I lasted a day longer than you on Trinity. Goodbye. Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted. Ike, sweetie, even though this is your first Skype game or whatever, did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. If Josh can do it, you can too. Why did you interrupt me?
That's my new life motto. If Josh can do it, you can too.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, what Caleb decided to ballpark off of me earlier. If Josh can do it, you can too. That's about it. Peace and blessings.
Caleb, I thought your life motto was "Let's play some basketball."
Basketball. Let's play some basketball. All right. So after Ike, we have Brandon.
I absolutely adore Brandon. I adore him so much. I don't know what that face was for. I love him to pieces.
Oh, I can make faces.
He probably doesn't even remember me, but I don't know. I have a really good feeling. He does not have the best track record, but I think he's learned from his past mistakes. I think he's definitely really good socially. I think that's probably his biggest asset to him. And I think he has played enough games and gotten out enough times to know what he's doing wrong. And I do think he is coming into this game and he's going to kind of change that. And I really hope he does, because I am rooting for him. I don't know. I just have a really good feeling about him in this game. And I hope I'm not wrong, because I want to see him do so well. He's just so likable and he's so nice, so funny, just so personable. And I'm really rooting for him in this game.
I'm going to piggy back off what Caleb said. So the reason why I like Brandon so much is that we were actually working very, very closely in Dead Man Walking. Due to Chris actually sending me, Chris sent me like a predicted brute list of Dead Man Walking, and me, Nopolito, and Brandon.
Oh, that was all wrong, baby.
Oh, it was all wrong. And it was made,
That was so
made
bad.
it was me, Nopolito, and Brandon in the final 3. So that's why I wanted to work with him. It's like,
Where did I
maybe
put
can increase
Caleb?
his screen.
I think I put Caleb 7th or something.
Brandon is
Bitch, I'm gonna put you last. Don't look at me.
Brandon's genuinely is such a genuine soul and a passionate person about any game that he plays. The one thing that worries me is that when he goes under conflict, under drama, he definitely has a tendency to fall and falter and get very nervous and sort of crumble. If that happens, I don't really see hope for him. But I feel like definitely a new time's come. Surviving it's a different type of game, and if he's grown and learned from that, he definitely has the ability to go far in this game. And I feel like he has a very great potential to become a sort of underdog character. And if he goes to the final 3, I'd definitely consider fucking voting for him because I feel like he'd deserve it at that point.
I think Brandon is I think this whole tribe is honestly full of wild cards. But I think that Brandon is one of the biggest wild cards for me because we've seen him be in Deadman Walking, he was a victim of circumstance, in my opinion, and he got everything pinned on him when he didn't actually do it. So he got screwed over there. So I don't know, like, he's that person that's very easily accused of, I guess you can like easily accuse somebody for doing stuff in games, and I feel like Brandon's that person and people would actually believe it. However, I do think Brandon is capable of making those genuine connections because every single time you talk to Brandon, you honestly get drawn in. So like I feel like he is very capable of going the distance. I hope he does at least. And I hope that he can fit in with this tribe as well.
So the one game I played with Brandon, he ended up winning. That was the game that Blake Murphy screwed me over in. But so the one game I played with him, Brandon won. But then obviously he got third boot in 1984. So I think he has potential. And I really love Brandon as a person. I think he's a great person. Very genuine, I think. And so I think it'll really depend on what his tribe wants to do with him. Like, I think that he has a good shot. It's just depending on whether everybody else is willing to work with him or not. I think that him and Kendall are going to work together because of having that season 4 connection. And this isn't just like me pulling this out of the air. Like, they already have a chat, and they were on call a little bit earlier. Like, the tribe was on call, and Brandon and Kendall were kind of the ones leading the conversation, along with Luke. So I feel like those two could be a power duo, but if everybody else sees that, then one of them might be taken out first. However, between the two, I don't think it would be Brandon. So I think we'll have to see what happens. I really hope Brandon does well because I think he was given a very bad time in 1984 that he didn't necessarily deserve. So
shout out to JJ for that.
Shout out to JJ for denying his invitation.
I have never interacted with Brandon, but I remember you telling me that there was like a last minute placement for Brandon to get casted in 1984 Dead Man Walking, and I was just over the moon excited for some reason. I don't know why. I just was. Caleb, why is that funny to you? Like,
No comment.
okay, yeah, go back on mute, sweetie. Anyways. It's like I love messing with Caleb. Caleb is so fun to mess with. Anyways, I really have high hopes for Brandon. Hell, I had high hopes for him in 1984, and we all saw how that turned out, but I'm just a huge fan. And I'm not a huge fan of anybody. But
Brandon's just so sweet. Like, how can you not love him? Like,
this is my time. My time. Thank you. Anyway, I'm so edgy. I'm so sorry. But I have high hopes for Brandon. I hope he does extremely well. Yeah. I want him to do well. I want him to see. when I came back for Trinity, I reclaimed my fucking time and then some, and that's exactly what I want to do for what Brandon do. So if I can do it and get my Kelly Wentworth story arc, baby.
I think he's just so genuine. Like, he's just so genuine with all of the
Me
conversations.
too. Oh my god. I really am.
Okay, Christopher.
Hey, what's up? I am. Okay, continue. Go on.
Alrighty. After Brandon, we have the sweet, caring, and kind Miss Caitlin.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for Caitlin. She almost didn't get her stuff in, and I was going to cry if we didn't get her because I freaking love her. She's a teacher for one, so that's a lot of points. Caleb's going to say she's from Missouri, so that's a lot of points. So I think that Caitlin's going to make a big run. I don't necessarily think she's going to win, but that's only for the reason of, like, I think she's going to play a lot like Lauren, and she's going to be way too likable, and nobody's going to want to sit next to her in the end. And I'm not sure if she's going to have the ability to win out in competition. So I'm very hopeful for Caitlin. I definitely think she's going to make it at least mid-merge. If she doesn't, I'll probably be very upset. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing her play and getting to know her because I did not meet her until Blake invited her. So, yeah.
I absolutely love Caitlin. I just played double cross with her, and she was my number one for a while until
You idled her out.
Whatever.
Blake really likes screwing over the people he likes. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Don't expose me.
I did
It's
it
true.
in Survivor All-Stars, so he has a right to do it now.
But yeah, Caitlin is a very, very social player. She will make you think that you are her number one, and there is nobody else that is on your level. She has that way of genuinely connecting with you, talking about real life, but at the same time switches.
Okay, Davis Tribe. That was the Davis Tribe. They are calling right now.
She has that ability to like talk to you about real life, but at the same time then switch it into game talk and actually get what she needs talked about. I think she's an overall great player. I don't think she's gonna win. I could see her getting anywhere from that mid-merge, like Michael said, up to like maybe 6th.
I put her at 6th in my little thing, so.
I could see her getting around 6th place. That's my guess as well. But I hope that she wins. I think a Caitlyn win would be iconic.
She's very different. Sorry. She's very different than all the other winners that we have in our series. So that would be cool to see. Go on.
No, thank you for your permission.
You're welcome for giving you permission, by the way.
Anyways, I just want to let you know, but I made a whole ass stank face when you were talking, and it was not directed to you at all. It was directed I got up and I saw his jacket. Because I was like, what the fuck kind of jacket is that? Anyways, first of all, where did you find her?
Wait.
I'm talking.
No.
It's my turn. How do you mute somebody?
I just need to make the announcement that Billy and Chris are coming in as our 21st and 22nd.
Come on, but in your ass out.
Billy's face, he got so excited when I said that.
Anyway, first of all, where did y'all find her?
Blake played double cross with her.
Missouri.
Yeah, I just played an org with her. She's really cool.
She said Missouri.
Missouri.
Missouri?
I know nothing about her, and like I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of people, but I'm a fan. I hope she does really well. I can see Parvati in her. I can also see Stephanie Johnson, and I really hope Parvati comes out. But if she gets Stephanie Johnson, she gets Kira music, so I'm totally okay. Yeah. I hope she does really well.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of y'all for casting at least 4 women.
We tried. I tried to get 2 more, and Tawny and Chloe, neither one applied, so And Ashley, I asked her as well. She didn't.
Ashley
Oh,
who?
that's Wayne.
Ashley asked Ash Soak.
Love that bitch. Ooh,
I
yeah.
know.
I've seen one video of Caitlyn, that's it, and I'm already obsessed. I was literally in production being like, I love Caitlyn. She probably thinks
She's
I'm
from
crazy now.
Missouri.
Yeah, that maybe I'm biased. That has something to do with it. But no, I don't know what it is. Just something about her personality. It just draws you in, and I agree. I think she's super charismatic, and just
Do I
like,
draw you in, Caleb?
no comment. And I think she's just super charismatic and fun to talk to. And it's very early, but if I had to pick somebody to go all the way, it would be her. I don't know why. Maybe it is because she's from Missouri and I just want it to happen, but I don't know. That's how I'm feeling about it.
Billy just left and it's his turn. So I will talk for Billy. It's a female, so Billy thinks that she's going to do well.
This would be Billy's closest ally.
It really would be.
Most
Well,
likely.
maybe not because
Guys,
Chrissy's
guys,
here,
guys,
but
guys.
I don't think Caitlyn would fall for his boyish charm.
Here's the thing. Right? Caitlyn is. Hold on, just.
Is a woman. Yes, we know.
Yeah. Hold on. Just I need to draw something up here.
oh my god.
Right. Yep. That's Caitlyn. Right. So
What the fuck is an IO?
it's the number 10.
Oh, no.
Why do you write ones like that? I thought that bitch was an I.
No.
And with that, Carissy has left the conversation.
I'm already obsessed with her. She is absolutely the person I would tend to work with 110%. And I would also be the person to not make it subtle at all. Caitlyn seems like a lovely person, and she better go far in this game because I'm going to be rooting for her a lot.
Up next we have Mr. Michael Hearn.
I think I get to go first because he has the best name. So this is going to be very confusing for me. This is going to be very confusing for me having Michael in the cast because we've already been on call with him and some of the people or whatever, and it's already confusing having people call Michael and it's not me. Or it is me and I think it's not. And so that's confusing. But I think that Michael has a good shot in this game. I think the only thing that could hinder his game is that everybody else is from the United States and he is not. Though, obviously, it really depends on the person if that matters or not. So, yeah, I think that Michael has a lot of connections in this game. He knows Keaton. He knows Nicole very well. So the other people from like the People's Republic chat or whatever. So I think that Michael has a good shot. I think it really depends on how those early numbers lay out. In my predictions or whatever, I said that Michael was going early because of how I predicted the numbers would go, but I really hope that doesn't happen because I want Michael to do really well.
So I think Michael is a very, very good social player. He definitely has no problem. Michael Hearn has no problem connecting with people. I do think that him being from a different country, I don't know if it's gonna be as big of a burden to him because like he does seem to be still pretty social with people throughout the day, and for the time difference that's pretty good, I feel. So yeah, I hope that he goes far because I know he's capable of doing it, and I know he's capable of making those social connections needed to get to that like fourth quarter of the game. So yeah, I hope he does well, but kind of like Michael said, if he doesn't find himself on the right side, I feel like he could easily go early as well.
I think he seems like a lovely gentleman. And that's really all I got to say. I just watched like 2 minutes of him. He seems cool. He seems like he connects with people very, very well. He seems a little bit awkward and a little bit quiet, but I feel like people are going to relate to that as well. So I feel as though people are definitely going to pull him in, and he can use that to his advantage and play a little bit of a floater game. He doesn't need to make all these sort of big moves and take the lead. He can just sort of sit back in the back seat and let other people drive, and then just know that he's in a safe position.
I've kind of seen him chat with some people since the game started a couple hours ago, and I agree. I think socially he's very well adept and knows how to make those connections very quickly and knows how to talk to people and connect on things. I am worried about all the previous connections he does have. He's also talked about how he's in like a lot of big group chats. So to me, when I play an org, that's always somebody that I worry about. Anybody who has more social connections than I do is probably my biggest threat in the early stages of the game. So I'm worried that he could go early because of that. That's my biggest concern, but he also might be able to swing it in his favor because he is so good at the social game. I don't know. I think he's more of a wild card than anything. I do hope he makes it far, though. I do really like him as a person, so I hope he does well.
I don't know, Michael. I really don't. I told you earlier, I don't know half of these people. I think it's the same Michael that has talked in numerous viewers' lounges, so he knows how the game is played, and he's a really big fan of all of these orgs that are playing, and I hope that works out in his favor playing this one. But yeah, good luck, sis.
Oop, I did not realize I was on mute. Alrighty. Up next, we have the one and only Kendall.
Yes, Kendall.
Oh, Kendall added me to a chat thinking I was in the game today.
There's always at least one. There's always
Alright. I'd like to start with Kendall if that's okay. Okay, so actually I was interested because I thought Dead Man Walking was going to be the last game that she played, at least that's what she said. However, I guess that's not the case. But Kendall is a close friend of mine. I've talked to her a couple of times, throughout life, I guess. She is a very lovely person, and like someone in real life who's ride or die. Unfortunately, she is not one of the best players I know. She has a tendency to play too hard too early, and I feel like she definitely has a tendency to start creating these big alliances, but not really get to know anyone who's in the alliance. So Survivor is a different game, but I really hope that she can do as well as she can, because I love her. I don't have high hopes. But please prove me wrong, Queen. Please.
So Kendall played Pro Survivor, I think it was, and she got first boot, and I think that was the last game she played. And then
I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared. I'm sorry, I wasn't. I thought you were gonna say like she won, and I was gonna be like, yes, Queen. And then you said she got first boot. I was like,
and then in season 2 of 1984, she got first boot. And in season 4 of 1984, she got second boot.
Is it shady in here, or what's going on?
I freaking love Kendall as a person, but she plays way too hard, way too fast every single time. She is one of the people that already has a one-on-one chat with production with every single person on her tribe. The other person I will mention later, but I don't think it's as problematic with the other person. So I think that Kendall means well, but I think she overplays. I think that this cast might be okay for her because I think that Chrissy's going to connect with her. I think that Brandon's going to connect with her. And then if those two each have a couple more connections, like I think that they might be able to have a group. But if she starts playing too hard again, I think that they could be spooked and just get rid of her. And so as much as I don't want that to happen, I think that will happen. So, yeah. My prediction for Kendall is that she will probably be pre-merge. So, I would love to see Kendall go farther, though.
I think we're all in the same boat where we want to see Kendall make it so far. We want her to go all the way. Whether it happens or not, whether it happens or not, that's tricky because I've my two regular 1984 seasons, I had Kendall on both times. The first time I was the one who got her out. The second time I worked so hard to keep her and still couldn't do it. Yeah. So I don't know. She's such a nice person and she's so nice to talk to, but she just plays too hard too fast. And I don't know how much of it is true. I honestly don't. She might just be easy to blame, kind of like the Brandon situation. Because I think hasn't it come out that like Napolito spread he like started some of that season 4 stuff about her because he wanted her out. And so I think she's one of those people who's also just easily blamed. And I think what it comes down to, it's like the nice, genuine people who aren't gonna be like super shady, super sneaky. She plays hard and she does play fast, but she's not like a backstabber that I know of. So it's easy to like pin stuff on her, and it sucks because she is such a lovely person. I do think this is probably one of the best casts for her though, or at least starting tribe. I think it gives her the best chance. Why do people make one-on-one chats? Is that like a thing that people do a lot?
Some orgs require it. Some orgs require you to do it.
Yeah, a lot of Facebook orgs require you to do.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. It always seems so shady to me though, because it makes me feel like you want to talk to me to prove that you're a good game player, not like make a connection. That just could be because I don't play Facebook orgs, so I wouldn't know. But I don't know, it always just seems super shady to me when people do that, especially when they do it right out of the gate. But I hope the best for Kendall, and I want to see her go so far.
All I gotta say about Kendall is salt. No, I'm kidding.
Shut up. Oh my god.
That's still one of the funniest moments we've ever
I'm
had.
correct. We put that in the plans for the season, right? I think we did. We put categories in the plans.
Yeah, I think
If
so.
she doesn't make it there, like to that challenge, we are canceling the season.
Ooh, that's
Like
pretty far in there.
Kendall is obviously a very big wild card, but she's a ginger, so I automatically have to root for her.
they might hook up together. We'll have to those wild card gingers.
True. I could actually see them. I could actually weirdly see that.
That would be so cool.
I think are gonna connect on a very good game level. I think they're gonna start building something there. It says my internet connection's unstable. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You lagged for like half a second, but it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think Kendall's definitely a wild card because she does tend to make all those chats right away, and she tends to kind of talk herself out of the game early on. But I really want to see Kendall make a merge or see what she's like after a merge where she doesn't need a tribe to back her up.
Yeah, I also haven't seen her play Survivor, so I'm interested to see how she does in this format in general. Although I guess you said she got first boot in Pro Survivor, so
I think that was Blake's boyfriend's fault. So
Now, where is she from?
was it really?
I think so.
what?
I said I think it was your boyfriend's fault that she got first boot,
Um,
but she's from Utah.
Okay.
She's like, I'm pretty sure she's like an ex-Mormon or Mormon or something, but she's a lesbian, so I don't
She
know.
also works at Chafula.
Yeah, she does work at Chafula, so Chafula
We have to
approves.
stand. We have
Chris,
no
you can talk
choice.
now. You have
I
permission.
can. I can. Oh,
Yep.
I love her. I love her so much. I live for her. I have never played a game with her. Sis does so poorly, and it's so upsetting. But like, I I have high hopes for her every time she plays, and every time she disappoints me. So every time I, I do well, she flops. And I literally think if you count me in a game with her, this is somebody that I would work with till death do us part because sis is not going. Sis is someone you keep around until you need to get rid of her. And I really hope that people take that to her advantage because when you get her out, it's too simple. It's too easy to get rid of her. And I really want her to prove me wrong. I want her to do well. I want her to make it as far as she possibly can. And if that's 19th, then so be it. But like, I want her to at least get on the jury or something. Like, I want to see her face on my finale night. As well.
Imagine Kendall at a tribal council or a final tribal.
I can't wait. I hope.
You never. Kendall could be like Christopher. She could flop at A, B, and C, and she could come back and actually do well in D.
Sis, don't try to out me.
I could see Kendall being that person that somebody picks up and kind of drags to the end. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I feel like Kendall could be that person that is dragged to the end and then pulls out the win just for the meme. But
yeah. Alrighty. Is that all we have for Kendall?
yeah. By the way, viewers or whoever, Billy will be back in a little bit. So yeah.
All right. After Kendall, we have Mr. Benner. Miss Benner, if you're dirty or if you're
nasty.
If you're nasty.
Okay, so I've played with Nick one time. It was the game that Brandon won, and Nick went out very bitterly. That was a very interesting time. But Nick's a pretty good player. I think it's kind of old school-ish for the community. He's very well known, I think, in like the Facebook community. Not so much engaged as much, though. If you say Nick Benner's name, somebody in the room is going to know who you're talking about. So I think he has a good shot. I don't know. So in my prediction, I predicted him getting second place. So so I'm going to tell everybody what I told Caleb before this. So I think that Blake's tribe is going to not do as well as my tribe in the beginning with competitions. And that's not just me saying my tribe's going to do better. Like I do.
Yes, it is.
No, I genuinely think that with the competitions we have and the people on the teams, I think that my team is going to win more. And I think that the people that are going to work together are going to be who I called the pretty people, which includes Chrissy, Caitlin, Nick Benner, and Luke. And I think that they're going to pull together Brandon and Kendall. And I think those 6 are going to run their tribe. And then I think that Kendall and Brandon are going to get cut before the merge because you guys are going to keep losing challenges. And so I think that those 4 are then going to link up with a couple other people from my team and make it pretty much like to the end. And I said that I think that Nick is going to be the one that pulls it out in the end, making it to the finals. So yeah, that's my little spiel.
I just watched Chris roll his eyes so hard during the whole thing.
I was watching a girl on Fear Factor eat worms and meatballs.
I need to watch the test reveal videos. No, never mind. I'm gonna watch it. Worms.
I don't know what to expect from Benner. Benner and I have a very, very love-hate relationship. One day we absolutely love each other. The next day we absolutely like despise each other. So
The
I'm
next
not sure
day he's fighting with me on Facebook about you yelling at Jamie Boobs. So
right. I mean, you gotta yell at who you gotta yell at. But anyways, Benner's a very good strategic player. He knows what he's doing. It's not his first rodeo. He's been around the block a couple times, so he knows what he's doing in these games. However, sometimes he can be a bit, I don't know if I want to say abrasive, but that might not sit well with people. So especially like a couple people from this cast. I know Caitlin can kind of take that and kind of suppress it and not worry about it as much, but like people like a Brandon, if Nick Benner starts being abrasive towards Brandon will snap. Like different people on this card, I was thinking wild cards. Different people on this team who are all wild cards. I don't know if that abrasiveness would work very well. So I think it just depends on how he's going to come in wanting to play the game, if he's going to be that social person or if he's going to get easily upset at stuff, because I've seen both from him. So I have high hopes for him. I hope he does well, but I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think out of anyone on the cast, I've heard about him the most. I do think he's going to be one of the strategic powerhouses of this season. However, I have heard that, yeah, he has a bit of a temper. I don't know if that's the right word, but I heard he likes it his way, which is fair. I'm the same way. I like it my way or no way. It doesn't always work out, though, as Blake said. Don't talk to me. It doesn't always work out. As Blake said, it could really hurt him, especially on this try. But I expect him to go far. I think he's going to work it in his favor, and I expect to see him make it to the end. Maybe not to the end, but very, very close.
I absolutely adore Nick Benner. I have known him for a really, really long time. He and I met on 10 Gauge through Becca. We've been chill and friends ever since. There was a brief where we stopped talking and we didn't see eye to eye and we stopped talking to each other. But we got back and we started talking again. It's been cute. I've only played one game. The first time I played Trinity, and I was unfortunately robbed really early, and I did not have any time to converse with Nick on that season. From things I have heard about Nick, though, he's an extremely emotional and aggressive game player. He does want things to go his way, and it's not to say it's his way or the highway, but he just wants to be on the right side of the numbers, and of course that's what everybody wants to do. But if it doesn't happen, then he lets you know about it, and he's not afraid of a challenge. I think Nick's going to do extremely well. I think something's going to happen where he's just going to blow up, and then he gets out. So, like, I don't see him winning. I think, like, highest placement for him, I would probably say fifth. But I see him going really far.
It might be rude to say it, but I really am hoping for a blowout with him because I think he can handle his own, and I'm excited for it.
Christopher, you were robbed in Trinity, baby.
By what was it? A ferret?
Mementos. Sorry.
No, me. Oh yes, I was. but I reclaimed my time. Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. See, I really liked you.
Shut up, Caleb. Shut up, Caleb. Act like I didn't hear. Oh,
I think if a blow up did happen between like him and Brandon or whatever, I think that Brandon would definitely be the one to take the fall, and I think that Nick would survive it. So.
Which I hope that doesn't happen because I think that Brandon does realize that he shouldn't have blown up during Dead Men Walking, and he's expressed that a couple times. So I don't know if Brandon would blow up on somebody again, but I could see somebody in this cast going off with Nick at some point.
Fingers crossed.
Alrighty. Next up, we have I think it's Luke. No, next up we have Chrissy. Sorry.
Can I go first?
That's just a perfect time for me to come.
Wow.
Interesting timing, Billy.
Uh-huh.
He
Lovely.
heard Chrissy and he said, I gotta get back. He was probably like 3 stories away. Like, he ran.
I'm going to go last for this, if that's okay.
So did Chris?
So, sorry,
I thought Chris said he wanted
Chrissy.
to go first.
What? Okay, whatever.
No, it's fine.
No,
Go.
no, this is your namesake. You go.
No,
You
it's
go.
fine. No,
Oh,
go.
you go. No,
Yeah.
I'm not talking.
Go,
Ladies, you're both pretty.
go, Michael. Go.
If neither of you goes, I'm just gonna go.
Anyway, I have nothing to say because she already knows how I feel about her. What was funny? Like, how was that funny?
It's funny that Billy just left the room.
Why? Why?
I'm laughing that Billy just left the room.
Anyways, let me fix my hair. I absolutely adore her. What the fuck is that jacket? I just don't.
What a fucking. Okay, you know what?
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you. Love you. Anyway, adore her. I hope she does extremely well. I told her that I cannot see her win, and that I really want her to get 4th place, so she can have her Wentworth story arc. I told her that, and she was like, "Well, at least you were honest." And I was like, "So I told she is the goddess, she is the legend, it's the moment." And I want her to get 4th place.
Funny thing, I have the papers of all the people here. 1, 2, 3, Chrissy. That I had Chrissy at 4th place. So, originally, earlier today, I was saying I think that Chrissy is going to be an early boot because I think that her video came off a little bit full of herself. So I think that, and I love Chrissy, but I think that her video, she was a little full of herself, and I feel like there's some people on her tribe that might not have the best history with her, i.e. Keaton. And so I think that at first I thought that she might not have the best chance, but then I start seeing her like conversate with people. I think she's connecting really well with Caitlin. I think she's connecting really well with Kendall. And I think they could easily get a couple other people, like Luke, I think she was connecting with well. Like, I think they could easily pull in a couple people, and Chrissy could have a good shot at this game. So yeah, I 100% agree with Chris. I think that she's probably going to get 4th place.
I have to just cut in before everyone else goes. That I believe that she's conversating really well with women, considering the fact that she wanted Caitlin gone week 1 of Perception and it worked.
she said like immediately that she doesn't dislike any of the girls, which will be really good for her, she said, because like in her last game.
Well, I will say it's not entirely Christy's fault that Caitlin went. Yeah, but I see you, Billy. I'm shouting that ass out. It was your fault.
What's up?
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, I just find it really hard to believe that she likes women. So it's okay.
I think we're all a bunch of Chrissy fans here.
Yeah, her and Megan have sent multiple occasions, but we're not going to talk about that.
What did he say? Billy, keep this shit up. What did he say?
I said her and Megan have sent nudes on multiple occasions, but we're
Oh,
not going to talk.
That's what we weren't gonna say.
Moving
Again.
on.
This is a PG rated friends. I'm gonna have to make sure to click that box on YouTube saying this is not for children.
This is age restricted.
Thank you.
Caleb, did you want to go next?
Sure. We're all a bunch of Christy fans here. We all love her so much. I just recently met her and I'm obsessed. She's so funny. She's so nice. She's so sweet. But she can be very, very sassy. Is that a good word? She's not afraid to speak her mind, and that's one of the things that I love about her.
Firecracker.
Oh, didn't she call herself that in her video?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she owns up to it. She knows it too, and I love it. She's not like trying to hide it, or she's not like, oh, I'm so sweet, which she is. But if you cross her, she'll let you know, and she'll come after you, and that's one of my favorite type of people. And I do think it's going to hurt her this game, though. I really do. Unless she plays it right, I think that could be something that's very detrimental to her game. I do see her making it decently far, at least to merge. After that, I don't know how well it's going to work for her. I do hope for the best for her because I absolutely love her. I don't know if it's going to happen, though.
Chrissy, I'm also kind of on the boat with standing Chrissy. I do feel like she, kind of like Caleb said, she's very sassy, or somebody said she's very sassy. And I think that could be potentially a downfall to her game. I could easily see her getting into it with Keaton before this round is even over.
That's definitely happening. I can already feel it.
It's definitely happening at some point. So yeah, I could definitely see that battle between her and Keaton. I'm not sure who would win that battle because I don't think we're far enough into the game to tell. However, I have high hopes for Chrissy. I hope she can go all the way. But kind of like Nick Benner, they're not afraid to speak their mind. I feel like those two could easily team up.
That's like the power duo. Me and Megan are quaking.
I can't wait to see. Those four pretty people, like I told you, I think they're gonna work together. I just hope
That'd be
get
kind of iconic.
All right.
they need.
Alrighty. So, Chrissy. So I was the person who introduced you all to her. The first game that I played.
Did Billy cut out for everyone or just me?
Oh.
Not Billy talking about his woman and disappearing.
We love Zone disconnecting me. We love Zone disconnecting me. That's great. Okay. No, but yeah. So first time I played with her, we worked very closely together. She is such a kind and amazing person. Once you get to know her very, very closely, she has this tendency to play under the radar, but she also knows the game very, very well. She is not afraid to speak her mind. She is not afraid to make a big move. It will land her in hot water, but she does have a tendency to get out of those hot situations pretty well. So if she can find a good group, she needs to stick to it. She needs to let people become bigger targets than her, and she needs to strike at the right moment. But this girl's fucking winning. I don't care what you all say. She's going to fucking win, and I'm going to be the one cheering her the loudest. She is fucking literally one of the best things
But
ever.
okay.
Sorry, I don't want to go on and on about it, but like she's like one of the best things ever. So that's happened. So I'm really ready for her. She deserves to fucking win this.
So after Chrissy, we have Luke
Oh, another, Jesus Christ.
coming back straight from the Devil's Playground.
I'll go first. Me and Luke have a long history. My first org ever was 1984 season 2. He got me out with
Lady
2.
Nut?
No, I didn't actually. At all. Season 4 was my first season. He got me out, but it's okay because then we played in the mini again. But I got him out, so the world was right again. No, in all reality, we have never worked together, and I think that's mainly because he is such a good player, and it always scares me to go anywhere near the end with him. I think if you give him an inch, he will take a mile, and I see him going to the end in this game. I really do. He's just so good at socially connecting with people He's good at strategizing with people, making the best moves for his game, and he is a competition threat. He is like the full package triple threat. He's scary, but one of his best assets is convincing people that he's not. And if he goes far, he'll go all the way, and I really think he's going to do it again.
I don't see Luke not getting to at least that 5th, 4th, even finale spot. The thing is, like, I try to imagine a way that Luke could go, but like, he's probably the most charismatic person in this game, and he can talk to you and easily get along with you. He's kind of like Caleb said, he is the triple threat in this game that everybody wants to be, but nobody, like, it's hard to achieve. But he can do it so flawlessly every single game. So I definitely think that he's in it for the long haul. I'm not sure if he's going to make it to the final tribal council, but I definitely think he'll be an end gamer. And I'm excited to see gameplay from Luke. I think he also said that he doesn't usually play Survivor, that he usually plays Big Brother. So that's going to be interesting as well to see how he kind of shifts his gameplay into a more Survivor-esque game.
I'm excited to see that.
Me too. So yeah, I'm excited for Luke. I hope he makes it to the end.
Sorry, the first time I played with Luke was the only time was the 1984 mini, and instantly we clicked. He is a very loud and charismatic personality, much like someone else I may or may not know. And we ended up working very well, closely together throughout the entirety of the game, along with Berks. We managed to make Final Four, and why is everyone laughing?
Chris made me laugh.
Chris is just tired of my shit. But Luke is Luke is one of my favorite ever people that I've worked with, and one of my favorite people ever. Like Caleb and Blake said, I feel like he's going to make it very far. I feel like him and Chrissy, please, just like, if there's anything I want to come out of this season, is to those two to work together. That would be like literal perfection. But if Chrissy doesn't win, I want, he's my second. So I really hope he does well.
I want Chrissy, Luke, and Caitlin to be the new power of 3.
Yes,
I
told you.
It has
Those
to
pretty
happen.
people.
Caleb,
I told you, those pretty
Caleb,
people.
you can go.
Chris said Blake's tribe is gone.
That wig was hurting my face. I just,
Orange was so your color, though.
anyway, I have not had the pleasure of meeting Luke like y'all have. I have not played.
I wouldn't say it was a pleasure.
Okay, don't interrupt me. Why? Ooh,
I'm sorry.
are you?
No.
Okay.
Continue.
Anyway, he's this side of my screen, so I'm gonna use my hand and just cover him. Okay. I have not had the pleasure, or what Caleb doesn't think it's pleasurable, but I'm sure because I just ended that ass. I have not had the pleasure of meeting Luke. I have not played a game with him. From what I've seen, he's done well. I think he's made single digits both times he played.
5th in season 2 and 4th in the mini.
Okay, so what did he get in season 2? I'm sorry.
5th.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's done really well both times. He's very loud, like Billy, and I think he could use that to his advantage. Hell, I did, and it worked. So I think he's gonna do well. There's not a scenario where I see him getting like. I was gonna say, not a scenario where I can see him getting pre-merged. I can't see it. So, yeah.
It's funny because sorry.
So I see Luke making it far, obviously. Like I don't know, I feel like Luke could work with either side, the group that I said, or he could go and work with Kendall and Brandon and all of them with the other side. Like I think him and Keaton might somehow work together because of the mini. So like I think Luke, as much as like it's weird to say, Luke is almost like the most connected person on this tribe. Like, is that weird? Like he has Kendall, and then he has Keith,
I'm sorry.
and those two people are connected very well. So I don't know. Luke has a good shot. I really do not see him getting pre-merge. Like, I will be shocked if he goes pre-merge. I will be shocked if he doesn't at least make like final 7 or 6 or even 5. Like, yeah, I don't know.
So I remember very distinctively, like when we first started Devil's Playground, Michael and I both thought that Luke was getting first boot. Like
It was supposed to.
it was written all out there. He was not very active, so like we thought Luke was going very early, and then he flipped the script and turned into probably one of the most dominant
Hop
players.
on top. Hop on top.
Right. So yeah, I think
I don't know what y'all hopping on top of, but I ain't hopping on top of nothing.
Hop on Pop. Hop on Pop was the book title that he said in categories that got him in the HOH week 2. When the trainings in him.
right. Is that all we have for Luke before we move on?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Up next, we have America's most well-known clown and crackhead, Keaton.
Okay, so with Keaton, I think that Keaton has a shot depending on where the numbers fall. I think that if the numbers are not in his favor, I think Keaton could be first boot. If the numbers are in Keaton's favor, I think he could win this game. So, I don't know. Keaton got first boot in YouTube Survivor, and then the next season he came back and he won. And then in Trinity, he got Player of the Season. Like, he's such a wild card. And then in 1984, he got 4th place. So, like, and then the mini, he randomized everything he did, and he still made it to, like, what, 8th place, 9th place or something? Like,
He got 8th.
This guy can do, like, he can just make a fool of himself, and he still does well. So I think it really depends where the numbers fall early. If he gets the numbers early, I think he rides it out for a long time. Chrissy has already said that she doesn't necessarily like that Keaton's in the game, and so if Chrissy acts on that, I think Keaton's going to be going early. If Chrissy doesn't act on that, then obviously I think that Keaton could do well. So we'll have to see.
Chrissy, do the right thing here.
What is the right thing, Billy?
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go. Keaton and I have a very, very big history. In games, he's taken me out. In games, I've taken him out. But any sort of game, there is just no bigger kryptonite to any kind of my game. He is just not my. He is so. I feel like he plays just as hard as I do and just as out there as I do, but he has doesn't really care too much how people think of him. He's one guy, right? It causes chaos and before the training. As I would probably just do it for fun. So, Keaton is the biggest wild card in this game period, just for how he plays. If these people sleep on him for 3 or 4 rounds, he's going to merge and he's going to fuck shit up. It's as simple as that. Do not let this guy get any further than like 3 or 4 rounds, because it will be the biggest regret of your damn life unless you're close to him. And if he goes to the end, knowing that he is one of the biggest targets in this game and knowing how hard he plays and knowing how much of a cracker he is, he's going to win. And I have no doubt in my mind about it. So, Keaton, early boot or just complete domination of this game?
He said himself he's going to be the winner. So
He knows how to get out of those sticky situations. Whenever he's in hot water, he always finds a way out, and I don't know how he does it, but he does it. And like, he self-describes himself as a crackhead, as a clown. So you know that he is crazy, but he still manages to get done what he needs to get done. And I think that's pretty impressive in these games, especially since with most people that would potentially turn them off. But in a way, he gets people to want to work with him being that crazy. And I find that really impressive. I have no idea where Keaton's going to play this season because I could see it going both ways. I could see Keaton as a first boot. I could see Keaton even at Final Tribal Council if things went his way. So Keaton's a very big wild card for me.
He has a lot of connections too. Like, he's very much connected with Michael and
Connor as well. I know that him and
Connor, yeah. And then on the other tribe, he's connected with Nicole.
If they look up, they're fucking good to go.
Yeah. Like
I think that's gonna like. Oh, sorry, you finish.
Sorry, there was a bug on my screen. I just got it. Okay.
You can't get Caleb through the screen, Chris.
No, I'm seriously
And that ends my time here on this cast assessment. Thank you so much for having me.
There really was a bug, and it was partly on Caleb, yes. But there
I hate all of you. Who are we on again? Oh, Keaton.
What did I do?
What?
What did I do?
you were here. Anyway.
You're a crackhead.
I think Michael brings up a really good point. He has a lot of connections, and I do think that's going to help him, but he's already making people mad. Like, Chrissy is one of them, and I think he's rubbing some other, like, even Michael. I don't know. Michael really wasn't vibing with Keaton on the call. Maybe that's just how Michael is. I've never got to know him very well, so maybe that's just how he is, but he didn't seem like he was vibing with Keaton very well, even though they know each other. But they might be forced to work together because they do have a previous connection. I kind of agree with all of you. I think it's kind of up in the air where he lands. I do see him going out very early, but if he can work his magic, I do see him going far. He's probably the person I'm looking forward to see play the most, just to kind of get into his mind and see what he actually thinks when he plays these orgs. So I'm pretty excited to see.
He
is. He's so mean.
Rabbit.
What was that?
Nabby added into Caitlin's production chat, please. And
I
I was
think-
talking before.
Ask him yourself.
I think he already has 2 people.
Don't
He
even
does.
give him a face, Chris. Don't.
Speaking of Chris, what do you think about Keaton
I
and
know,
Anastasia?
right? Like, thank you. Oh my god. Rude ass bitches. Anyways, I love Keaton. Keaton is my little adorable crackhead. I hope he does extremely well. I don't think he's winning. I find it very hard to believe that he's going to end up for this game. I want the best for him, but I can also see him going extremely early or making it extremely far without. But you already said he's pissing people off, so I have high hopes, but I hate having high hopes because people disappoint me. So, yeah. Love you though.
All right, and that completes the Murphy tribe. Michael, did you want to introduce your tribe?
Sure. Okay, so first up from my tribe, we have Caleb's favorite person, Brian. Kick him.
Kick him!
Caleb, you want to go first?
How did y'all get him? You're just like,
Oh god. I still haven't explained to Brian why I voted him out of Trinity. So I guess we'll use this as an explanation, kind of. I think
I
Brian.
want to know.
I think Brian's a really good player. I think he's very, very social. He's one of the most social people I know. At least with me, it didn't always feel genuine, though. He's likes to talk a lot of game, and he likes to strategize a lot, and he likes to scheme a lot. I don't know if that's quarantine, and he has no other free time. But It's just what he does. He sits there and he makes up plans. And it's hard to work with him because he's so paranoid and it makes you paranoid. And you always think like, oh, is he going to get me? So then you have to get him before he gets you. And I think he is a good player. I think he's very strategic, sometimes over strategic. And I think that's going to be his downfall in this game again. I don't see him making it very far because he's going to overplay his hand like he did in Trinity, like he did in Taze apparently. So I do hope the best for Brian. I don't dislike Brian. We didn't get off to the best foot in the game. But I do like him as a player, and I like to see what he does. I think he's one of the shadiest people I've ever met, and I will go to my grave saying that. But he probably thinks the same thing about me, so that's that.
He's not wrong.
So, Brian and I, like, it's been years now. I played my first and second stars with Brian, and he was my ride or die. Both times I went out, and then he went out 2 placements after me. And then, so that's fun. I'm pretty sure he's also the first 10-gager I ever went on a call with, so that's a fun fact. Yeah, I kind of can echo what Caleb was saying. Brian's a very shady player. He definitely wants what he wants, and he will do whatever he has to do to get that. I am so excited to see Brian and Hunter on the same tribe. I want them to get in an argument because I think it would be hilarious. Also, fun fact about Brian, he played Survivor Wannabes, and I'm pretty sure he got 15th place. He played Trinity, and he got 15th place. And he played Taze, and he got 15th place. So, Brian, buddy, you better hope your tribe wins immunity at 15th place. Because if not, for the meme, I think they're going to have to do it.
We love a good brand.
Ew. Yeah, so I love Brian, though. I'm very excited that he's playing this game. I have wanted to host him for a while. I think I've, asked him to apply to 1984 previously, and so I think quarantine definitely helps. But, yeah, I'm very excited to have him finally.
Brian is a shady ass. I'm sorry, but it's not just quarantine. I played Wannabes with him, and he made me feel like I was his best friend.
You played Wannabes?
No. The 19th placer played Wannabes, and they tried to. They became really good friends in the game with Brian, and then Brian backstabbed them for no reason. Just because
I wonder who told them to become friends with Brian.
I don't know. That's mysterious 19th placer. But anyways, Brian is definitely shady. He will make you feel like you're his closest ally, and then he will be plotting your demise the very same round. And I think it's kind of predictable now. I think he definitely needs to change up his gameplay in order for people not to automatically assume that he is going to be shady moving into these games. If you game with the same strategy every single time, it's not going to work out. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It has the little internet connection is unstable again. What was I saying? He comes into the game playing the same strategy every time. So I think he definitely needs to switch that up. And if he does that, he can go far. But if he comes in playing the same game and is shady to everybody, I don't think that's going to fly with this cast. And I think they're going to take him out real early.
I absolutely adore Brian. From the minute I met him, it was when we stepped foot on the mat. Actually, they stepped foot off the mat. I got off the helicopter because my came, and I just stepped on the mat then too. And we were like, "Hey guys, I sucked ass last time. Here I am again." And it was fun for the 2.5 seconds he was on the island. He's very out there. he's a talker, and he will say whatever he has to say to make sure it's not him. I really hope and pray when he does get voted out, Caleb yells, "Kick him again," because that was God. That was like God. That was golden.
Brian, if you see Caleb at your tribal, you know you're.
I want him to do well. I think people are going to catch on to his game soon, but I hope he makes it past 15th this time.
Now all I can envision is Blake reading Brian's name and having so much fun doing it because he finally gets to eliminate Brian, and then Caleb's over there saying, "Kick him, kick him!" Like, sorry.
I mean, realistically, I probably will take pleasure in every single time I get to read Brian's name, but that's the petty side of me. I hope that he actually goes far. I would love to see Brian go far on that.
I want to see him in a late game. I want to see how he kind of goes about playing like a merge game. I want to see it.
I couldn't tell you anything about Brian. I don't know him whatsoever. I think you all have done a perfect job explaining him, so we're going to move on to the next person, if that's okay.
Yes. Okay. The next person is somebody who we've wanted on 1984 for a while now. It is Livingston.
I'll start. I had the pleasure of playing with Livingston, much like Michael, in Trinity Survivor. And he was actually, when I was voted out, he was actually the person that I tried to vote out. Livingston is a lovely guy. He's a very friendly and someone that is very easy to chat to. As social game is definitely going to take him throughout a large majority of the game. However, he is one of those people where, okay, we can't let this guy go to the end because he's going to get all the jury votes. I think everyone really doesn't have a bad thing to say about the dude. So it's hard to win a game when you're so likable. So if Livingston can find a couple people to work with that are bigger targets than him, to be loyal to them, let them steer the wheel, they'll be good to go. He'll be good to go. Otherwise, it's not looking different.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think he does have a lot of connections on this tribe as well. So I think that's going to work in his favor. I do worry, though, because I feel like his sense of humor is, like, off a bit. Like, it's a little different. So I don't know if he's going to have a harder time connecting with some of the other people on this cast that he doesn't already know. But, again, as Billy said, he's so nice. He's so likable, and he's just a good person. I have to root for him. I really do. I hope he goes far. And I do think he has the capability of doing it. It's just depends on how well he can connect with the people he doesn't already know. I think he has the capability to do so, but it does worry me.
I think that Livingston he's kind of a wild card. He definitely has the connections of Tim and Kevin. I think that he is really trusting of Kevin, and I don't know if that's going to be a downfall of his or not. I'm very excited to see him play because we've tried to get him for a while now, and it just never worked out until now. So, yeah, I think that Livingston, I don't know. I feel like once again, it's going to depend on where the numbers end up falling, where those, like, couple wild cards end up, like, deciding where to vote. I think that Livingston could find himself into some trouble if him, Tim, and Kevin are kind of picked out as a threesome, because I think that they might try to get one of them out. I do, however, think that Livingston would not be their first choice to take out. I think that it would probably be one of the other two. But if they would lose, like, again and again, then he might go. So I think I predicted Livingston to be, like, one of the first couple merge boots. So I definitely agree with Billy. Like, you cannot let him.
Livingston is such a weirdo, but he's that lovable weirdo that you just, like, automatically start, like, gravitating towards. kind of like Caleb said, he definitely has a different sense of humor, and like we would probably all get his jokes, but people who aren't used to these types of friends in this community won't understand that type of humor. So I could see what Caleb said being accurate for sure. And for Michael, I do agree with Michael as well. Like I agree with everything you guys have all said about Livingston working with certain people and him not being the first one to be picked out from that group. However, if there's a fear of an idol and you want to vote, like put damage on that big power player, what are you going to do? You're going to take out one of their numbers. And I think
that's what I tried to do. Trinity. I tried to Livingston.
I think Livingston could definitely
and Kevin, who didn't let it happen. Sorry. Go on. I'm good now.
I think Livingston could definitely be some collateral damage if somebody wants to weaken another player. He's the type of player to kind of, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but he's not necessarily the one that's taking the reins of things. He's kind of just taking orders, I guess. And I don't mean that to be rude, but like he is just kind of that follower, I guess. But he's very loyal. So that's something that works for him as well. I think that Livingston will go pretty far in this game. He is, like I said, he's very loyal. So I think that will work out to his benefit. Sorry, I'm a rambler. You all know this.
Okay. I have actually never played a game of Livingston. He hosted OKB, and I was in the most recent season with Caleb, and I did absolutely nothing in that game.
Same though.
I got taken to what? Caleb?
I said same though.
Okay, but you got votes to win. I gave myself 4, so that's fine. I did absolutely nothing that game, and he's chill. He's a good host. I think the only time I've actually seen him play was when he was in Trinity, and he did relatively well, right? He got 8th.
He's fairly new to orgs, isn't he? He like just started playing this year, if I'm not mistaken.
They voted me off, Chris.
They voted you off when?
In Trinity.
I'm pretty sure that like he had applied to season 4 of 1984, and that would have been his first org. I think his first org was Only One Left.
But yeah, I remember talking to him about that.
Yeah.
I've never really watched him as a game player though, so I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. But from what I've heard nothing but great things, and he's very well liked from the people that have talked about him. So I hope he does relatively well. Yeah. Good luck, sis!
Everybody?
I believe so.
Okay. Okay, so next is another wild card, Jackson. So, Jackson is new to this whole org thing. He's also playing Jennifer's Survivor. So I don't really know what to expect from him. No, I think that he is going to be able to kind of sneak through for a little while. I think that Jackson, like, he said in his, I don't remember if it was his intro video or his interview video, that he's not afraid to, like, get into the drama. So that'll be interesting to see because so far he seems very quiet. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm excited to see him play. It's always fun hosting movies. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Jackson. But I did want to bring up that point. He did say that. He said he's here for the drama. He's here for the tea. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what that means. I don't know if that means he's going to be like getting into fights with people or if he's gonna try to cause other people to get into fights. Because I think one could be very beneficial. If he's trying to cause other people to get into fights, I do think he can kind of sneak to the end. If he is, however, getting into all these fights, I worry that that's gonna hurt a lot. So I'm very interested to see how he plays. I do think he's gonna get decently far. I just kind of have a feeling. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to see how he plays.
Yeah, I think I'll at least make jury.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Jackson. I think that I like that he says that he's into drama because same sis during orgs. We love that. I think I could definitely see him being the villain of the season, more so than a Benner. I mean, I could see Benner being the villain too, but like I think that Jackson could be the villain of the season, and I'm very excited for it to see what he might do and pull off. However, I have never seen him play an org before, so I do not know what he's capable of. So, big wild card for me.
Okay, since Billy's too attached with his phone, I don't know and who this person is. I said earlier, I know half of these people, and he is, again, unfortunately, is not one of them. I don't know. I can't say much because I don't know. I'm just gonna say the same thing that I said about one of the ones that's from England. Good luck, sis.
England.
I hope you do well.
I don't really have anything to say about Jackson. Unfortunately, I don't know him too well. This is just another case where we're probably going to have to go to the next person.
Poor Jackson. We're all like, we don't know you.
But I want you to do well, baby. You got this.
Okay, I'll try and make one comment.
No, that's fake. Continue. Go to the next one. That's fake. No.
No, you are sorry. You are genuinely. No. You know what? A completely new person won last season. Let's see it happen again.
Yep.
I can't believe we already established that. That's why I said go to the next person.
Hey,
Okay.
I would like to have input because I wasn't paying attention. I was checking. Shut your fucking mouth.
Okay, so the next person. What?
I know you want to, baby. And what about it?
Oh,
All right, ladies, you're both beautiful. You're both beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bye, Michael. I'm a little messy. It's okay. Continue.
So, next we have the person that hosted the last game that I played, Adina Nicole. She's going by Nicole. I think she always goes by Nicole. I think JJ is the only person that called her Adina Nicole. And so now I got in the habit of calling her Adina. She is Nicole. I love her. I am very excited that she's playing this game. I think that the one downfall of her game is going to be the relationships that other people already have, because she's really into 10-gauge. She does not like 10-gauge. I think she only played because of me and Blake. So I'm very excited to see how she plays. She mentioned in her interview video that she doesn't really ever get pre-jury. So that'll be exciting to see. My prediction was that I think that she's going to be a very big player in the pre-jury phase. And then I think that come live night, I think that's going to be a time that people are going to try to take her out. So, but I also feel like she's going to be the type of person that is going to be able to get an idol and use it correctly. And if she does that, I think she has a good shot. I think that she's kind of reminding me a little bit of Lauren. So let's see if she can actually pull it out. I'm very excited for Nicole. I could see her winning this game, and I would be very excited to see her win this game.
right, I'll go next. I'm very, very excited for Nicole as well. She's a queenie, and just from what I know of her, and I also got to play Whodunit with her, and she's very, very sweet. She was also a little bit shady. This woman has a little bit of shadiness to her. I could see her playing the same game, like not trying to copy Michael, but I could see her playing the Lauren game from last season of Surviving. The person you least expect to be the shadiest is shady. And I mean, I would love to
Oh, Blake cut out.
see her play. I hope she goes a long way. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You cut out for half
Yeah.
a second, but you're back.
I truly believe Nicole is going to be the most underestimated player in this game.
Oh, speaking of the Queen, shout out Lauren again.
Is
Okay,
myth, the legend herself.
You can continue.
But Nicole's going like I was saying, I think she's going to be the most underestimated player in this game. I think people will look at her and think, oh, you know what? She's going to be a good social player, you know, going to be really kind. Let's talk to her. But don't want to really be close to her. I feel as though she can mingle herself into a really good spot where she doesn't really need to be the leader, but she can just be in the majority. And then when she gets to merge, she has people that she played with, hosted before, in Ascendance with you, Michael, and she can mingle herself into that group and sort of group of friends that they're already with. So, you know, talk with Connor, who's close with Kate, and who's close with, it goes on.
Constance, I think, and we'll get more into this later, I think Constance is going to be very much attached to Nicole. So that'll be very good for Nicole.
Yeah, exactly.
Next person, because I think...
I guess I'll go. Nicole is a mother, so we have no choice but to stay on. We love her. I've
Great. Oh my god! I love you so much, but you're gonna stay her because she's a mom. I'm a mom.
Yes.
I'm a mom, and what about it?
We love mothers playing orgs. Don't no. Okay, continuing. This is about Nicole, not you. I've never met Nicole. I'm super excited to see her play. And I do think she has it in her. This is testing me tonight. I am so excited to see Nicole play. I do think she's going to have the social game. And I do agree. I think she's going to be underestimated. And I don't think people are going to see how well of a strategic game she's able to play. Maybe until it's too late. And I think if she makes it far enough, she can go all the way. And I'm super excited.
Alrighty. I have had the pleasure of playing an org with Nicole. We played an I Love Money org, and the minute I will say, because I did her dirty, and the only reason why I did her dirty is that Australian in the fucking corner. Yeah, I loved her. I bonded so well with her, and then Billy was like, "I want Nicole gone," and then I was just like, ugh. Okay, and yes, that was you, dummy. You got rid of Nicole and Natalie, two queens, because you hate women.
I'm the only straight guy here.
I went too far, namaste.
I'm the only straight guy here, excuse me. I'm the only straight guy here, excuse me.
What you think you're talking about, Billy?
You are not straight. Don't ever tell lies like that ever again. Not straight. No. Anyways, back to Nicole. I love her. I love her so much. She is a really well-known org player. If people are going to be like, who's Nicole? Be like, that bad bitch right there. Ain't Nicole Spears, baby. Mm-hmm. I don't see her making pre-merge at all. I think she has really good grasp on the game. She knows how to play. She's played every fucking org there is practically, and she hosts one as well. I see her making it really deep. Yeah. I love a bad bitch.
I thought you froze. I totally thought you froze.
I do that shit a lot, but what if I froze like that too? Yeah, but I love Nicole. I hope she's slays and namaste.
It'll be fun. Like, this is like, I'm gonna get all 3 experiences with Nicole because I played with her and then she hosted me and now I get to host her. Like, this is so much fun. So, yeah. Okay. Next up is the only alternate from the season, Mr. Tim.
Who was it?
Tim.
Oh, okay.
Legend.
Caleb, do you have some words?
Not many. I personally don't get along with Tim very well. But we're here to talk about his game, which I don't think is very good. That's not true. I didn't get to see much of his game when we played together. But the parts that I did see, I don't think were played very well. He can definitely say the same about me. I just think he's too, I don't know the words. I don't know, abrasive, maybe again. A little into himself. And it just depends on how he can connect with other people, because if he can make connections, I think he can go far, because he is a really good strategic player. I think he has the strategic capability, but socially, I don't know if it's all there. At least it wasn't for me and him, but I do know he can make connections. I don't know. I don't think he's going to go far, but I do know the past 2 Trinity games he's played, he's gone super far, like 3rd and 4th, if I'm not mistaken. 2nd and 4th?
2nd and 4th. He tied for 2nd, and he got 4th.
Yeah. So he must be doing something.
And he won
right.
Taze. He won Taze.
I don't know. He must be doing something right if he always makes it that far. I don't know if people want to take him because they know they can beat him, or if it's because they think he's unlikable. That'd be the reasons I do it. But to each their own. I do think he's going to go far again. I do think he has the capability.
You just said you don't think he's going far. No. But
I said he can, depending on how he makes his connections.
Rewind. I did not hear I can. But
Tim just messaged in chat and said, "Can I have an idol?"
I want to go last, so whoever wants to go, go.
I did.
So
Blake, baby, you're on mute, sweetie.
oh wait, it was Blake to
You're muted.
Oh,
Were we both
hello.
talking? Was I talking like over you even though you were muted?
Hi, baby. Michael, if you want to go, you can go.
I'll go. So I recently played Trinity with Tim. Tim is a mess to play with. He I can never tell what he wants. He is he's so hard to talk to in a game sense. He never tells me exactly what he wants to do. He always beats around the bush, and I don't know. So Tim and I had a weird relationship in Trinity. But yeah, so the thing is Tim was one immunity challenge away from winning that game though. So I don't know. I feel like Tim has Tim has a very good
Rocks,
shot.
Chris.
Tim really does have a good shot of winning this game.
Love you.
I don't know if he'll be able to do it with this cast. I think that he has a lot of connections. He has Livingston and Kevin, though I don't necessarily think that those two trust him enough. So I think
that's a good
the
point.
3 is going to go. I think Livingston and Kevin would throw Tim under the bus in order to keep the other 2 safe. So
I think I've heard from both of them. They're like, yeah, we know Tim, but do we really trust him? So they might work with him for a bit, but I don't know if that's going to last very long.
I'm not sure if that alliance is going to end up with the numbers. I honestly think that alliance is going to end up being the minority, and they're going to have to fight through it. And I mean, they were able to fight through it in Trinity. So they were the minority, and they were able to fight through it. So if they can do that again here, better on them. Those
those three were a powerhouse in Trinity. Like the fact that we got Livingston out, like, and Tim helped get Livingston out, but like those three made the biggest move I think Trinity has ever seen in the idol play with the vote reveal and all that stuff. Like that was a great move. And those three all did that together. So we'll have to see if they concoct anything this season as well. So
I think that Tim comes across very douchey most of the time, and I'm not trying to be a jerk about that, but I think like it's just like his tone of voice and the way he speaks to people sometimes, and that could turn people off very easily. Him and I have never been able to see eye to eye in a game, but and again, I guess like some personalities just don't work together. I don't know what is going to happen with him on this tribe, but I actually don't know if I see those three working together, Tim, Livingston, and Kevin. You saw, like, yes, they might have worked together one game, but I don't think that necessarily means they'll work together this game. Like, you saw the power of three work together very well in season 4, and then the very next game they played together, only one left. They all wanted each other's heads on, like, platters. So, like, I think it's very hard to predict what would happen with these types of friend groups, but I'm very excited to see how it plays out. I do think that Tim will find himself being pre-jury this time around. That's just my personal thoughts.
I wouldn't be shocked with that.
Tim has this weird fucking way though of just scraping through as far as he can. This is not a joke. Every single game that I've seen him play, he goes far. He's made merge or jury every single time I've seen him play. I get that he can definitely be messy and definitely, definitely has an ego and definitely can be a little bit flirty as well. But he knows how to talk to people that he likes and he knows how to convince people as well. So I agree with you that there's a big possibility that he could be pre-merge, but there's just a bigger possibility that he can go far. Can he win? No, but I think he can make a very big impact in this game.
I think all of you bitches are wrong. I absolutely adore Tim. I have had the pleasure of playing both Trinity. Not Trinity. I haven't played Trinity. I'm done. I played YouTube Survivor with him the very first. And shut up Caleb, I swear to
Anyway, continue.
Anyways, I have had the pleasure of playing both Trinity Survivor All-Stars and Trinity Survivor the very first season with Tim. Tim and I worked together both times. The second time I ended that ass. But the first time I was on the opposite side of the vote and I ended up winning. And then I ended that ass and then I got fifth. Mind you, I was the last winner in that game and Blake got 29th. Love you.
I didn't play that game.
So I think
I don't remember that game.
Shut up, Billy. You were a part of that game. You were only there for 5 seconds. Blake was there longer than you, and he went. Blake was there longer than you.
That game too. You guys just didn't see me because I was never at Tribal.
And you know what, honey? I definitely stole the show when I was there. So Lee and I, Ms. Crimson,
I really did love
a game that I outlasted all of you bitches. Love that. Anyway, I think Tim is gonna do really, really well if he plays his cards right. And his cards being, he keeps that mouth shut. He doesn't threaten anybody. And just
you know who we're talking about, right?
Yes, I understand who the Tim was. And I have high hopes for him. Hell, I picked him on the fantasy pick draft. I have high hopes for him. I think y'all made us. It's not y'all. I think Ben, who we'll talk about later. I don't think we talked about Ben yet. Have known each other extremely well. They have played They played together. They worked together in All Stars YouTube Survivor, and it was hard to get both of them out. Yeah, it was. But we did it. I did it. And, yes. So I think Tim is going to do exceptionally well if he plays his cards right, and I love him so much. And I have so many high hopes for him, and I have high hopes for him, and I hope he doesn't fucking ruin that shit for me. So, yeah, I want him to win, and that's on God. Okay, I'm done. Was I frozen?
Okay.
Why was there a big pause in between there?
Has Billy talked about Tim yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have.
Okay, I don't know why I thought you didn't. Okay.
The inadequacy.
Next up, we have the reigning player of the season of Trinity Survivor. And no, I'm not talking about Caleb or Chris. I'm talking about Jake. I'm very excited.
Played so much better than both of them bitches, and I did.
Did you
Yes,
say
I
you
did,
played
Caleb.
better?
Yes,
Did
I
you
did.
say you
Caleb.
played
Yes, I
better?
did, Caleb. Caleb, baby, we can get into it right the fuck now. Let me put my hair on.
Why not? You want to talk about mother. You want to talk about mother.
We want to talk about it. What do you want to talk about? How I asked.
I want to talk about Jake. That's what I want to talk about.
Oh, okay. Oh, you know you. Okay.
Because you wouldn't have made it half as far as you did if it wasn't for me.
Why? It's just Z.
I'll start out with Jake, I guess. I played my first season. I played my first season of Trinity with Jake, and he was kind of clueless that season, but then obviously he came back and he played a much better game. So, like, I've seen that both sides come from Jake, so I'm not sure which he's going to play coming into this game. However, he said he has free time on his hands, so I think that he'll be definitely a strong force to be reckoned with. I think he's definitely going to make it far. Or at least I hope he does, because I do think he's a nice character to have on the season, or whatever you want to say. So yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about Jake.
I will go next. Jake. I've played once with Jake, I believe. No, he was an All-Star YouTube Survivor All-Stars as well. I didn't get to play with him then. I played with him in YouTube Survivor, the original season that I did, where Devin won, and he happens to be part of one of my favorite career moments ever. He got blindsided wildly as I idled myself and saved myself. Jake is a very kind guy from what I've seen and from how I've talked to him, and from what I've heard, his game has improved massively since 2017, which was when we played that. So I'm excited to see how he does, because I haven't really paid attention to how he has played. I've really only paid attention to Trinity because of Caleb and Chris. So I'm excited to see how he does here, for sure.
I've not had another time, Caleb.
No. You talk about interrupting me. You ain't got to interrupt me, okay?
And what about it?
Be quiet. Be quiet. Don't be a hypocrite, honey. Okay?
Put me up on
One
perception,
time.
bitch. Put me the fuck up. I dare you. You won't. You won't.
To do that, you are done. You are done. You are blocked. Okay? I'm
Block
very
me,
excited
bitch.
to see how Jake does, and I think that he has a very big potential to actually win this game. I think that he has a very good shot at winning.
Billy, I really feel like 2017 was the year of the orgs for us. Like that year was popping.
Like we haven't done well since then, haven't we?
So I really like Jake. I don't have too much experience playing with him, but I liked watching him on Trinity. Julian, as soon as Jake got eliminated in Trinity, he was like, or he
had messaged me and said that Jake is like really fun to host, and so I immediately was like, "Give me the contact card. I gotta
Within
get."
like 5 minutes.
Like literally within 5 minutes, I had Jake. Like he had already applied. Like,
In 5 minutes.
sir, you know you had an invite as well, right? But so
we can talk after this. We can talk. We have a little chat.
But yeah, I'm very excited to see what Jake does this season. I have really high hopes for him. I think that he's going to make like at least mid-merge-ish. We'll have to see what happens from there. I definitely think he could make it to the end. Now, the one thing I will say is in the Trinity Survivor Mini, his jury management wasn't very good. So if that translates to this game, that could cause an issue. But if not, like if he fixes that issue, I think he has a good shot.
Wait, did he make it to the end of the mini? I've stopped watching.
It was him, Pietro, and Bodhi, I'm pretty sure. And then
Yeah,
Pietro won
it was.
again.
Pietro won.
They let him get there.
One more time to shade me like that again. Ooh. Oh, did Caleb go? I want Caleb to go.
No, but okay, I'll go first. Me and Jake were decent allies at the beginning, except for that one time I tried to vote him out for 18th. But after that, we became friends. And then as the game grew closer and closer to an end, I realized he was probably the biggest threat to win, just because he did have so many friends and he was so strategically involved in a lot of the stuff that went on. However, I think a big part of that last season was the fact that he wasn't really there pre-merge. He was absent, and like even Julian will tell you, he wasn't very active. People thought he was going to go home early because he wasn't doing anything, and we tried to make it happen, actually. We did vote him out. A Skull Charm was played. And so when Merge came, I don't think anyone really saw him as that big of a threat because he wasn't even there for most of Merge. Like or for pre-Merge, he didn't really do anything, and nobody really knew how he played. And that gave him time to like really go hard and play a really good game. If he does that from the beginning, I'm worried that people might catch on quicker and won't let him get as far as we even did. So I think if he lays low for the beginning of the game and strikes at Merge, I think he has a really, really good shot. If he plays hard pre-Merge as well, I think that might cause him to have some trouble.
I just had the pleasure of playing Trinity Survivor with both Jake and Caleb, and one was pleasurable.
Wouldn't call it a pleasure.
What'd you say?
I said I wouldn't call it a pleasure.
Stay bitter, sweetie. Anyways, I absolutely adore Jake. His vote out was really hard. It was easy to do, but it was.
Oh, I was at his tribal. I was Caleb at his tribal.
Yeah, I wasn't there. Wish I could have known.
Sorry.
You were there at that one.
Me?
Yes.
No,
you?
I wasn't.
No, I
Michael
was.
there. Michael was there with a picture of me.
Sorry.
I'm trying to imitate it. Hold on.
Jeez. Just go find it.
All right. Well, Jake is a really good game player. I understand why he got player of the season in Trinity. Granted, he would have got 18th. 18th if I didn't skull charm that ass, but I'm a bad bitch. What? I can't help it. I am rooting for Jake extremely hardcore. I hope he does well this time around. If not, better.
I like how you cock your face exactly like it is in the picture.
I just don't know.
The picture of Caleb. It's so good. Oh, not the hat. Oh, God. But I hope he does extremely well this time around, if not better. better than he has played on Trinity. I see if he does play too hard too fast, then people could do it. But I want him to do extremely well. Love you, Jake.
Okay. Next up is the winner of the Trinity Survivor game that me and Billy played together, Kevin.
Okay. I think Kevin is.
Damn, y'all hate you.
No, Caleb, guy.
Okay.
Billy, you're lagging really bad, just so you know.
Yeah, I can't. Okay, I'll just go. I think Kevin's amazing. I think he's so nice, super sweet guy. But he's also really good at games. He knows how to play them. Again, he got first in Deception Island, and then he got like 5th in LKB, which is a group game, but he was still going to go on and win it had he not gotten 5th. I don't know what he does, but he just plays games really, really well. I think a big part of that is he knows when to make moves. He's not just strategic for strategic sake. He knows when's the right time to do what he wants to do. And I think that's a really big part of him making it far in games. I'm really hoping he goes far, and I do think he has the capability. That trio of him, Livingston, and Tim does worry me, but I think he's aware enough to either work with them if he feels like it's best, or to ditch them. He'll make the right call, I think, regarding them. And I think out of all the 3, he probably has the chance to go the farthest.
He also just got 3rd in Persistence. So, like...
Of course he did.
Yeah, I think the one game recently, I think he played Atomic, and he got, like, one of the first couple boots. But other than that, he's done really good in Survivor games. He also got 3rd place in Haze. Like, he somehow finds his way to the end of every game he plays, or for the most part. So it'll be interesting to see him play. I wanted him on last season because I thought it would be interesting to have him and Caleb on the same season because of them being the most recent org winners at the time. But obviously that didn't happen. So it'll be fun to see him play this season. I think that out of everybody, I think he's the most wary of the fact like that this was an invite-only season. Like, these are high-ranked players. So I think he's very much aware of that, and I think he understands the level of gameplay that's going to happen. And so he knows, like, he's got to be thinking hard during this game. Like, he can't just put things off. I think his one downfall is that he said he's moving in the next couple of days. So if his tribe loses, that could be a downfall if he's not been talking. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. I really would hate to see him go out like that, though. So,
yeah. How's my internet at the moment? Is it still bringing up? Okay.
I guess I'll go next. Kevin, I really, really enjoy Kevin's company. I think he's a really funny guy. And I think overall he just likes to have a fun time, whether that's joking with you or being silly with you. I think that he's very he's very easy to get along with. And I feel like that's why he makes the end of so many games. I really hope Kevin does go far in this game. I could see him getting in trouble for being associated with Tim and Livingston, and I could see him getting taken out over those 2 just because people might view him as the biggest threat between those 3. However, I definitely want him to go far, and I think he has what it takes to possibly go all the way and win the game even. So yeah, I have high hopes for Kevin, and I hope he does well. Asia. Oh, don't look at me like that. Who do you think you're looking at like that?
You, because you decided to interrupt me like a little bitch.
I was lagging. My internet connection is like McDonald's Wi-Fi level, so.
And whose fault is that? Not mine.
Not mine either. I'll blame my parents.
Okay.
Checking.
We need the next highest.
All right.
Pretty good.
Shut up, Billy. Oh my God.
Yes, Billy, it's better.
Beautiful. Thanks, Chris, for clarifying.
Ugh. Can I go? I'm going. I love Kevin. He ended my life when I watched the Trinity. What was it? What are we doing? Cast assessment. I had to think about that. He ended my life. Him and Z both did, and they did not have high hopes for me. And then I got 4, like the bad bitch I am. Caleb, keep making faces.
No,
Keep making faces.
what faces? I don't know what.
Oh, you just made one anyway. Kevin is an extremely great game player. He won Trinity, whatever season, he won one. And I don't know what season it was.
Deception Island.
The one
That
about
one.
yours.
That one. And we played OKB together, and he made it really far, and then I gave him 5th.
Who asked you for that?
And then,
I remember that call.
bitch, bye.
Michael was there for that. Literally screamed at Chris.
That was fun.
I did. He screamed at Chris because he was like, "You need to get your vote in," and I was like, "I don't know who to vote for." It was either Liv or Kevin. I was like, "I better go Kevin." Like, what the fuck, Chris? I was like, "Well, sorry." But Kevin is an extremely good game player. See him making it really, really far. I want him to win, but I don't see it happening. But hey, prove me wrong, sis. Love you.
All right. Kevin is one of the best talkers that I've seen in an org. I feel like he has a very good ability to convince people that he is aligned with them. And period, he's just one of the best game players out there at the moment. He's coming into a very well connected cast. I think the cast is is based around him. I think it's a very good opportunity for him to just completely slay another game. I think he's definitely got one. I think if I were a betting man, he'd be the favourite. So I think that he has a very huge shot to win this. But I do hope that others win this. So I hope that some people will realise, oh, we probably should get him out.
Okay. So next we have Constance. Okay, I will start. So Constance is a very controversial figure, I think. I am very excited to see Constance play. He did say himself, though, that this is like a nightmare of a cast for him. So we'll have to see how that goes. I think that he's going to probably connect himself to Nicole because Nicole has hosted him before. And I think that, I don't know, I think that we could end up with an Ascendance Alliance eventually of Nicole, Constance, Connor, Michael, and Keaton, if those 5 last long enough to get together. I think that could be a possibility. So we'll have to see what happens with that. I think that Constance could be an easy early target, but Constance could also be a number for people. So we'll have to see. When I did my prediction thing, I predicted that Constance was going to be the 3rd placer. So we'll see what happens.
Well, Constance and I don't exactly have the best past, but I think that was actually a fear of Constance's applying, is that I wouldn't let him play or something.
Yeah.
But hey, always willing to move forward. And I think that it kind of depends. It depends if he can get himself in there with his tribe of people. I don't know if I exactly see him fitting in with them or not. But if he can find himself away, then I think he could potentially make it to the merge, but I don't know if I see it.
I guess I'll go next. I don't know Constance, like at all. But just from like this short time through like through the video and just for the short time that he's been in the game, he seems like a nice, genuine person. So that's not necessarily what I've been hearing though. So I am concerned. I hope this game he can come across as more of like a nice guy. And he did say he wanted to play a loyal game. How much of that is true, I have no idea. But I hope he can kind of get that point across, and I do hope he can find somebody and stick to them, like Nicole, and hopefully get the numbers on their side. That's the only way I really see him going anywhere in the game. Otherwise, it's looking like he's going to be a pretty early boot, which is sad because I do think he has a lot of game in him, but it's not looking good right now.
I've had the pleasure of playing Constance's orgs in the past. The very first one, I think it was Big Brother VIP, where I got Billy out for pretty much study. And the game ended up getting canceled due to like rigging claims. And we got brought back, and game was good. I got jury. And Constance is a really good host. I have, from the games that I have seen him play, he is very out there, and not out there as being a bad thing, but like he's very controversial sometimes. He's very, he's not afraid to let people know what he's thinking, and he's not afraid to let people like tell people. And that could definitely be his downfall. I love him, and I hope he does really well, but I don't see him making it really far, unfortunately. But I want him to prove me wrong. So.
Mr. Stevens?
Ozzy.
Yeah, so
Yeah, put that phone down, baby.
you just have to make it comment everything, do you? Constance and I had a good relationship. Then I played Big Brother VIP, and then I was one of the people who accused him of rigging, and that didn't go down well. So we had a pretty shaky relationship there. But then I played as I Love Money, and he was absolutely amazing. It was a great game. I think Constant is a really good dude. I think he's improved. I'm glad our relationship has improved. I think that I've definitely seen the lighter side of him. As to how he plays, I've heard that he tends to be pretty shady. I gotta be real. I don't really see him getting too far for him being such a big figure in the old community. I think he's going to make a target of himself early. However, the one way I can see him doing well is if he just accepts that he might have to take the charge and just try and get a group together and make things go his way for a bit. If he can keep that up, he can win, but I don't see it.
Okay, two more. Next we have the Season 3 Sequester winner, Hunter. So I was very excited when Hunter applied. I didn't expect him to actually apply when I invited him, but he did. And so he applied very late. And then he was modding a Sequester mini that night. And so I told him, I said, I'll excuse you from your interview video because I wanted him that bad. So, so clearly Hunter is a good game player because he won Sequester. I don't know how many people in this game have picked up on that yet. I know that Keaton figured it out because Jack had told him. So I know it'll get out at some point. But for the time being, I think Hunter's in a pretty good spot. I think that he's going to kind of play an under the radar game, which is kind of interesting. So I played 2 seasons of YouTube Survivor with Hunter, and the night I was eliminated from the first one, it was his fault. I sat right here in this spot and had an argument with Hunter. It was the first argument of the season. Pretty proud of that. And then in Second Chances, Hunter ended up quitting the game because there was some controversy. But I think since then, like, that's been a while. I think Hunter's changed a lot. I think that he knows how to work a cast, and I think he's very manipulative, and he's going to get what he wants. And I feel like him and Brian at some point are going to get into it, and I definitely think that Hunter's going to end up on top. Same with Nicole. I predicted that Hunter would be somebody that they might try to get out during live night. So yeah, I'm very excited to see Hunter play this game. So.
I want to speak on Hunter. So when I hosted, I don't usually like talking about Big Brother Prime, but I'm going to bring it up because that's probably the period of time where how I knew him the most. I really like to do. I really do. I think that he is the most unapologetic out of the players that you guys have chosen, meaning that whether he'll be shady or not, he won't care. He's ready to go out full force and play his heart out, you know. He is probably coming in here, if people can figure out him on Sequester, he'll come in as the biggest target in this game. And
I'm already the biggest threat.
Yeah. So I think he'll make jury. I think he'll be first or second jury boot. But if he can play, I guess he could play like Rosalind-esque, like where he can make final 3 and probably maybe have a jury that's pretty mad at him. But I feel as though his unapologetic self and him, you know, just doing whatever he can to win, I feel like that's a huge thing that people will respect. So it'll just really depend on who he can who he can pull in to trust. That'll determine his fate in the game. But I am very much rooting for Hunter.
Sorry, all I can think about now is Hunter and Brian getting into a fight. And Brian just made yourself the biggest threat. And Hunter saying, I'm already the biggest threat. And then Caleb coming in and saying, kick him. And then Blake saying, Brian, you have... Sorry.
Okay. I guess I'll go next. I've never watched any of the Sequester shows. So sadly I haven't got to see Hunter play, and I've never played an org with him. So I'm super excited to see how he does. I have heard really, really good things. Based off what I've heard and seen, I do think he has the capability of going really, really far. But I agree. I don't think he makes it to the end. I mean, they'd be stupid to bring a Sequester winner to the end. Like, he is coming in with the biggest target. And if you let the person with the biggest target make it to the end, you basically guarantee their win. So, like, I think they'd... Wait, what'd you say?
I said looks at Tony.
Oh, exactly. Like, I think he could pull it off with this cast. I'm not sure, because this is a high caliber cast, and I don't know if they're going to let him even make it to merge. I think he can do it. I think he's going to be able to work his way there. Whether he gets much further than that, I don't know. I hope so, but I don't know.
Really quick, I would like to add that I think that one downfall of Hunter's might be that, like, he is very much involved in the Sequester community, and he moderates the Sequester minis a lot. He does a lot of, like, promo stuff for Sequester, so I think that if he's focused on that instead of this game, I think that could be a downfall. Though he did say to us that, like, when he plays a game, he's dedicated to it. So if he sticks to that, I think he has a good shot. If he gets distracted and is more doing the Sequester stuff, I think that could hinder his game. But we'll have to see. I'm excited.
Hey, Sleeping Beauty, you're up.
I was not asleep. I was looking at my fucking phone. Try again. Who are you talking about, Hunter? I think I only played with him when we played that nasty, awful Big Brother Prime game together. Love you, Billy.
Oh, no. What you're saying is the complete truth.
Hunter was very apologetic. Unapologetic. He did not care about anybody in that game except himself. And I don't think his gameplay has changed at all whatsoever. I don't think a lot of the people that you casted are sequester watchers. I could be wrong about that, but I'm not sure. I don't see Hunter winning. I see him going really far if he plays the same game he does. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anything about him has changed as a game player. And he's a really good game player at that. So I don't see him winning, but I see him making it far.
Chrissy said something about Hunter being in this game. She said that he was in Conquest with her.
He's a what?
Conquest?
I guess Chrissy and Hunter played Conquest together. And she said that he tried getting her out and like she murdered him for it or whatever. I don't know if that's like
Queen
thing. But yeah, so that prior relationship might come into play. I feel like Nicole might know about Hunter as well. I could be wrong though. I thought she said something, but I guess not. So
it only takes one person, and I mean Keaton can't say anything because he's on the other tribe right now.
Right. So
good, y'all. Good. Did y'all enforce like no cross tribe communication rules?
Oh yeah, they're not.
Oh, good.
So if it doesn't get out that Hunter is like big in sequester and all this stuff, like I think that he could have a good shot, at least until merge. We'll have to see how it goes. I don't know. I think that Nicole. I feel like Nicole would use Hunter to her benefit rather than to harm Hunter's game, though. So, because I think those two are going to need each other. I think those two are probably the biggest names on their tribe, in the org community. So I feel like they are going to need each other. Okay. And
sorry, isn't my wait? Can I go real quick? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Trying to skip me. Wow.
Oh, I thought you already did it.
You're running some errands right now.
I am running some errands. I had to run somewhere real quick. I'm sorry. So for Hunter, I think it depends what game he's in, but I think he's very capable of playing under the radar, like I've heard a couple of you guys say. But at the same time, he is also very capable of playing that in-your-face game, as he showed on Sequester. So I'm very interested to see what path he's going to take. But yeah, I hope he can. I honestly could see, like, even though him and Chrissy have a bad past or whatever, Michael, I think, said, I still picture them two working together for some reason, or I picture them two overcoming that if they did hook up at some point.
I don't think Bill would like it if those two hooked up.
I didn't mean it that way. Billy looks like a sad puppy dog right now. Aww.
I need to, I'm not gonna talk.
But yeah, I hope Hunter does well.
Okay. So last up, we have Mr. Mud in the Wilderness, Ben. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to have Ben. Anybody want to go first?
Tell us why you're excited to have him, Michael.
Okay. So Ben doesn't play orgs very often. Julian tried to get him for Trinity for past and present, and Ben said no. And I got Ben and Julian didn't. So I'm very excited about
Oh.
that. Yeah, Ben was last in the cast assessment because I wanted to be petty. And so, yeah, I played YouTube Survivor All Stars with Ben. Obviously, I didn't last as long as Chris did in that game, but Ben was one of my closest allies in that game while I was there. We obviously only voted together once, and I was out. But actually, no, we didn't vote together because I was swapped away from him. That was the issue. But he was one of my closest allies. And so I talked to him a lot before I left. So I'm very excited to see how he plays. When he played Trinity Survivor, they gave him first boot. And so I think he has something to prove. So I don't know. I'm very excited to see him play. Obviously I haven't mentioned a winner pick yet because Ben is my winner pick. So, yeah. We've got some sleeping beauties over here.
I got nothing really to say. I don't really know Ben too well, so you might have to skip me for this one, unfortunately.
How about the other sleeping beauty?
I guess I'll go next. I'm excited.
Blake just randomly entered his room again.
I'm really excited for Ben. I haven't seen him play an org since, what was it, Trinity that he got first boot in?
Yeah, and before that, I think with YouTube Survivor All Stars, which was over a year ago.
Yeah, so it's been a while since we've seen him, and he's only played those 2 orgs on 10 gauge. So I'm very, very excited to see what he's going to bring to the season again. Or I shouldn't say again, but what he's going to bring to the season. And I hope that he doesn't overplay too fast, because I know that's his mistakes in some other games. So I hope that he doesn't come in too hot and heavy. And I hope he does well.
I don't know much about Ben. Actually, I know nothing about Ben. But if what Blake says is true, if overplaying early is his downfall, then I think he's doing pretty good so far, because I don't think he's been doing too much of it. It's only been a couple hours though, so who knows what's in store. But I'm super excited to watch him play and see what he's capable of, because I have heard only good things. So yeah, I'm super duper excited.
Beauty, your turn.
I love Ben. Ben is a great game player. He does, besides that first boot in Trinity, he's done particularly well, I think. He's very strong strategically, and he's very strong socially. He knows how to adapt to certain situations. I can see him going extremely far. I think he and Tim are going to work together and be extremely dangerous, like they were in Survivor All Stars. And I hope that's the case, because them together are better than them separate, and they can do damage together in this game. I have high hopes for Ben. I hope he doesn't disappoint me. And yeah. Oh, reminder, I beat that ass in stars. So yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So that almost wraps it up. I think, do we want to go around and say who we think our first predictions are, and then a winner prediction? So I think we can do a first boot prediction for each tribe, and then maybe one winner prediction for each tribe. Does anybody want to go first?
No, you go.
Billy, you can go first.
Yeah, okay. So for the Murphy tribe, I'm going to go big and say, you know what? I'm gonna say Ken. No, I'm gonna go big and say Keaton.
Okay.
And Davis tribe. I'm gonna go Brian.
Your first boots or your winners?
Best boots.
Oh, okay.
Christopher.
I think. Shit, I forgot who's on which track. I don't see Kendall making it really far, so I'm not gonna say Kendall because I actually I'm gonna say Kendall. And for the other tribe, probably Constance.
Caleb Reed.
I think for the Murphy tribe, I think I want to give Kendall the benefit of the doubt, so I think I'm gonna go with Ike. I don't know. I don't see him making enough connections. For the Davis, well, I want to say Brian. I really do, but I think it'd be Constance.
Blake Murphy.
For the Murphy tribe, I do think that it would probably be. I also want to agree with Caleb. I don't want Ken. I like to hope that Kendall doesn't get first boot, so I'm actually gonna say Keaton as well. And then for the Davis tribe, I'm going to say Constance as well.
Okay. For the Murphy tribe, I'm going to say Keaton. And then for my tribe, I'm gonna say Tim. Sorry, Chris. I think that Tim might be the first one gone for my tribe. Okay. How about winner picks? I'll go first this time, I guess. My winner pick for my tribe is Ben. My winner pick from Blake's tribe, I want to say, that's hard. I'm going to say Luke. Okay, Blake, you can go next. We'll go in backward order.
From Murphy, I'm going to say
Blake, you picked a lot of wild cards. I don't know if you picked very many winners.
I'm going to say Caitlin. And then for Davis, I'm going to say Jake.
Caleb.
Oh, is it my turn? Okay. Well, obviously, for Murphy, Christy's going to hate me, but I will also have to say Caitlin. For Davis. I don't know why. I'm going to have to go with Kevin. I really think he has a good shot.
Okay, Chris.
I would say fuck you to Michael and say Tim is winner. And the other tribe, I'm gonna give her. I think she's on the other tribe. So is Chrissy on the other tribe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I'm gonna say Chrissy. Love you, Bill.
And Billy.
Chrissy, obviously.
I always want to co-star somebody.
But I have more of a right to pick her than you do, so don't. There's any other tribe. Can I just say Luke? Because I don't want any. I just want
Luke's
Chrissy.
on the Murphy tribe.
Yeah, Chrissy or Luke. Just one of those two. I
Okay,
don't care.
whatever.
I
I
don't
see
wanna say-
Billy.
I don't want to say tribe, but I just like.
Okay. So I think that wraps this up. So obviously at this point, whoever's watching this, you already know who won the season. So congratulations to whoever you are.
Congrats, Chrissy.
We have a very fun season planned. I'm very excited to see how it ends up. As of right now, I think this is probably the best overall cast that we've had. So I'm very excited to see what this season brings us. So that's it.